Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you how to judge a safe gap for changing lanes. If you're driving and you are going to be changing lanes, which I'm assuming that you're going to be doing that as you're driving, then you should know when it is safe to do so. I'm going to show you a simple thing that you can do to train your brain to know when it's safe to change lanes. I'm trying to make a rhyme there all the time. All right, no more joking, let's get right into it. I'm here in a relatively empty parking lot, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to memorize the positioning of your car in comparison to other cars beside you, behind you, to know when it's safe to change lanes. I want you to take note of this pole right over here, okay? This is just a light post in the parking lot. Now I'm going to drive up ahead, and I'm going to keep my eye on the rear view mirror. Now, as a general rule of thumb, when the car that is beside you is then in your rear view mirror, that's generally a safe gap to change lanes. That's usually a little bit more than a safe gap. When you can see the car in your rear view mirror, the one that's, in the lane beside you, then that's like more than enough space. That's a safe gap, okay? So we're gonna drive up ahead, okay? We're gonna move forward, and we are gonna keep, this is the pole we're looking for. As we drive up ahead, we're gonna keep our eyes in the rearview mirror until we can see that pole. Now, mind you, I have a car seat, I have two car seats and two mirrors back there, so it's difficult to see. But if you take a look right there, there's that pole. There's a pole right over there, okay, as you can see. So there's that pole that we were talking about, as you can see right there. Now, what I want you to do once you've done that, and you can do this with any object or any car in a parking lot, is look at your side mirror. Memorize the sizing of that object, okay? So that is roughly the size of when it is safe to change lanes. Now, we're gonna reverse, okay? So let's go back. We're gonna go back to where we were before. Excuse me as I just look around as I'm reversing. I don't want to create an unsafe situation. So now that we're reversing, once again, whoo, that's pretty close. That is pretty close. Check that out right there. Pretty close. Okay. So once again, I'm going to look at this pole, and this is what I would recommend that you do. You do the same thing over and over again until you get it down. I'm going to look at this pole. Now I'm going to drive forward, but we're looking at the rear view mirror, okay? So I'm going to look at that rear view mirror, and I want to try and stop roughly in the same position, when that pole is roughly the same size. So as I'm looking in my side mirror, I'm sorry, not my rear view mirror, my side mirror, I think it's right about here. That's basically where the pole was, in my opinion. That's where it was in relation to the pole. If you look in the rear view mirror, there's the pole right there. So that is a safe position. So what you want to do is you want to do that over and over and over again. Go into an empty parking lot, do it like 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, and you're going to get to know the size of the car, of the imaginary car, in your side mirror of what it looks like size-wise, when it's a safe gap for changing lanes. Also, do the same thing with your passenger side mirror, because your passenger side mirror, because of the curvature, it's going to look different. So you're going to train your brain to know, oh, look at the car. The car is that size. I know it's safe to change lanes. Now, there's also another thing that you should note. Let's turn the camera around one more time for this part. When you're trying to figure out a safe gap for changing lanes, I'm going to reverse again. We're just going back and forth in this parking lot. There's nobody here. It's a parking lot I love to use to film because there's never anybody here. People use this parking lot to park their cars, and then they go to work and they come out 8 hours later. All right, so here's this pole again, okay? Now as I drive forward, I want you to notice one thing. Keep your eye on that side mirror. Well, I'm going to hold my camera there, so you're going to have to keep your eye on it. Look at the pole. What's happening with the pole? This is like, I'm expecting you to answer through the computer. The pole is getting smaller. So what that means is, as I drive further away from the pole or the imaginary car, the vehicle is going to get smaller. The object's going to get smaller. So the smaller that it is, the more of a gap that you have for changing lanes. The smaller that the object is, the more safe the gap will be. The safer that the gap will be. The bigger that the object is, the closer that the car will be to you, and you're creating less of a safe gap. So I'm going to now reverse. Look at what's happening with that pole over there. What's happening with the pole? Once again, I know you can't answer me. I don't know why I'm asking a question, but the pole is actually getting larger. So that means that as the car gets closer to you, it's going to get larger, okay? So use those guidelines and use this exercise to train your brain. This way, while you're driving, if you're driving and you see, let's just move up. If you're driving and you see the car in the lane beside you and you see that it's like that, I know because of my training now that that car is too close. That's not a safe gap. They could just hit the accelerator pedal a bit and they'll be beside me. That's not a safe gap, okay? But if I were to drive further, let's say I'm driving and the car in the mirror is that size right there, the size of the pole right there, you know, that would be a safe gap. That would be a safe gap. Now, obviously, in a more realistic situation, let's just create a more realistic situation. What I would recommend doing after you've experimented with that pole and driving beside it is I would go beside a car, just like this. And I would do the same thing, but beside a car. So I would drive up ahead, just like that, once again, and I would look in the rear view mirror until that car appears in the rear view mirror and memorize the positioning of that car. So check this out. In the rear view mirror, there is the car right over there. You can see it. That is what the car looks like. That's probably a little bit more helpful. That's what the car looks like right there. So obviously, if I looked in my side mirror and I saw that right there, obviously, that wouldn't be a safe gap because I'm too close. So I would have to look for the exact same sizing of the vehicle that I saw. And that's it. Also, before I finish, I do want to say that whenever you are changing lanes and judging your safe gap, it is super important to make sure that you are also signaling, checking your mirrors, and checking your blind spot, in addition to making sure that the gap is safe. And that's it. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.